We're going to do an entire cover of every single gun in the game and class in the game and what you should be using in general for all the classes, at least what I use. There's definitely some meta things that are better than everything else. So for light, usually I'm using dash or cloak. And if I want to have fun, I use grappling hook more. Against better players, it's not necessarily going to be as good, but it's fun. You can go with a lot of variation for the actual specializations for light, whereas the other classes, it's kind of more limited. For the guns, for the weapons in general, I think you have a lot of variety. They nerfed the pistol from what it used to be, but it's still a good option. The M11 is really good because you have 40 rounds, so that's what I use pretty much 90% of the time. The XP54 is also good because it has a sight. You just have less rounds. It has a 30 round mag. As for like fun picks, you have throwing knives. They're situational. They're okay. Like you can one-shot people with the headshot multiplier. The sword's fun, does a lot of damage. This shotgun does insane damage. I think it's like 180 damage with a full shot. So there are other options. The dagger backstab is one shot, so it's also really strong. Those are pretty much your main options on light. So moving on, we got the gadgets. For the gadgets, it's pretty straightforward. The glitch grenade is just the main thing that's like very overpowered, that's worth running 100% of the time. It's the most OP item in the game, I think, when it comes to utility, just because you're basically able to EMP nade everybody on the enemy team. It takes away shields, it takes away the healing, it takes away the defib. Like all their abilities go away, whether they have it up or they haven't used it yet, which is really, really strong. That's really strong. Other than that, like gas grenades really good, pyro's good. Any type of deny on point, you throw the pyro on the point and it can kind of delay it a bit, is like, it's just really good. Stun gun got nerfed. That being said, it still is really good to run in general because you're gonna stun somebody and they lose their abilities. They can't use any type of interact, so they can't climb like any type of like zip line or anything like that, and they move at a very slow rate, so it's like really, really overpowered for that. Vanishing bomb is new and it makes you and your teammates invisible. I've seen a few people testing this. It's okay. Like you don't go invis as long as you would hope, but you can get your entire group invis, and situationally it might be good. Switching over to medium, you have 3 ability options, and out of these 3, the healing beams is obviously the strongest just because you can heal. If you're running 2 medium, what you can also run is recon, because it's pretty much just like you could see everybody. It scans constantly for the duration that it's enabled, so you can pretty much see everyone. It's really, really strong. And then the turret, people use it. You can get so much more value out of everything else. For the weapons, you actually have a few different interesting options here. The AK is just really strong because you have 36 rounds. It's a really strong AR in general overall. It does good damage. They nerfed the recoil a bit, but it still feels really good. 36 rounds versus the alternate, which is the FCAR, which is like, I mean, the SCAR in general, it's a good weapon just because the accuracy got buffed. It shoots completely straight. It's a really good gun, but it has 20 rounds, so that's really the main thing that's holding it back. Then the revolver. The Revo is crazy because it hits really hard, especially with headshots, but like the iron sights, the way the gun is, it's just sometimes it just doesn't feel consistent, unfortunately. The grenade launcher is iffy, not that great. The shotgun's okay. Riot shield is actually kind of strong. As meme as it is, it's actually pretty good. People run around with it, block a lot of bullets with it, but I just like, you get the most value if you're running AK and like healing or recon. For the gadgets, you definitely want to run defib. That's one of the most OP things in the game. It used to bring you back at full health, but now it brings back a person at around half health, which is, I mean, it's a lot more balanced, but it's still very OP to have an instant res in a game like this, obviously. Other than that, jump pad's really good for mobility. You're the mobility character to provide mobility for your teammates, basically. So jump pad's good because not only can you get height and verticality pretty easily, but you can also use it in team fights to... It's really good in combat. Like you can get instant height, or even if you just go up, like it breaks somebody's tracking pretty easily. You don't want to just stay up in there because it's easy to track once they look at you, but you can use it to instantly like get yourself out of a situation. Zip lines are also good. just because you go pretty far, like you can connect pretty insane places. So it's like you always want to be running one or the other for these two. As medium, you should always be running some kind of mobility. Jump pad's just better situationally in fights, like in actual fights. Other than that, sonar grenade, really strong. You throw a sonar down, it scans the entire area and gives you and your teammates a blip. The recon, your teammates don't see it, but the sonar shows your teammates as well, which is really OP for a few scans. It's really strong. Gas grenade also really OP. It got buffed, and it's just like in the closed beta, and it's really good. APS turret obviously is really good. Like any game, it can stop people from using the heavy explosives to bring things down, or to affect the terrain. Obviously, it's just really strong. Glitch trap's interesting because it's like the EMP, the glitch grenade that the light character has from earlier, but it's a trap that does it. Pyro is just pyro. It's a molly. It's like for prevention and like you could throw it on point and kind of delay. That's mainly what pyro and smoke, or the gas grenades are used for. But remember the interactions that gas can blow up. So if you throw anything flammable at gas, it's gonna blow up the gas, and then smoke puts out fire. So like keep that in mind as well. It's also like a little neat thing that they did with the interactions between different things. That's pretty much it for medium. And then moving on to heavy. Heavy's pretty straightforward. It's really strong if you play it a certain way, the way the meta is right now with the shield. So although you do have charge and slam, which a lot of people like, but it's just not as good as mesh shield with how much value you can get with this. The mesh shield, you can move around with it. It has 1200 health, and your teammates can shoot through it where your enemies can't. It's insane how strong the shields are in this game. The goo gun's okay. They nerfed it a lot. It used to be stronger, a lot stronger. Just in general, it's most of the time you should be using mesh shield. For the weapons, it's pretty situational. The shotgun in general is the most overpowered weapon in the game. Like this and the RPG just are so overtuned that when you're using this compared to anything else, it just feels like you're on a tier above. The shotgun up close, you can kill an entire team with one mag. You can kill an entire team and do damage to another team too, which is insane. You get 16 shots, 4 shots in each mini reload. It does like a little like delay mini like reset thing every 4 shots, but you have 16 before the full reload. So this gun's just broken. It's really strong. This needs to be nerfed at some point. I think it will be, hopefully. FWL Finals World League in the chat. What's going on? So yeah, that's the shotgun. For the automatics, the M60 has way too much recoil, even though it has way more ammo. The Lewis gun beams. So this one's the one that I personally prefer. M60, even though it does have more ammo, it's like it's just not as manageable. The visual recoil is too much. But yeah, so that's the sledgehammer is good. It does a lot of damage. You can one-shot people. So like if you want to play melee, running sledgehammer with charge and slam works. You don't want to run mesh shield if you're running sledge. But with any of these guns, you want to be running the mesh shield. It's really good. Flamethrower is strong. They toned it down a bit, but it's really strong still. Like you could burn if you're in a small enclosed area, it cooks. The grenade launchers, whatever. I personally just wouldn't run this. Based on just how much value you're getting in a team fight, you're not going to get as much. For the gadgets, this is where it gets interesting. Because the RPG you should always run just because it's the most broken thing. You can use it instantly. You could swap to it, shoot it, does 180 damage, instantly kills the light, instantly brings the heavy down to half, under half. So it's like if you have 2 heavies, that's why a double RPG just insta kills a heavy. It's really strong overall. The RPG is just guaranteed you should be running that. The dome shield's another one that you should have guaranteed always. It's just like the mesh shield where your teammates can shoot through and enemies can't shoot through. So you could either throw it on yourself and have your team fight through it, or you can throw it at an enemy team and have it be like a preventative measure where it's a barrier they can't shoot through. So RPG, dome shield for sure. And then I like running C4. C4 is really good because you could have 2 on the site and have it as another preventative thing where if somebody gets on site, you see the thing flashing red, you can immediately blow up the C4 and get a kill on the site for free. But yeah, the pyro nades, the gas grenades on the other classes, like in general, it's all preventative, right? So you're trying to get it to where somebody can't get on the site for a certain amount of time, and that's where the utility and the value comes from. C4 kind of does like an instant version of that, whereas the pyros or the gas grenades are more long-term. But yeah, that pretty much is heavy. Heavy, you should always, like, this class is one of the strongest classes in the game. The shield meta is really strong right now, so like my ideal setup usually is just mesh shield, and then I run the Lewis gun or the shotgun, even though the shotgun is just obnoxious. I don't even like running it, that's how strong it is. And then C4, dome shield, and RPG. Those are my go-tos for heavy. For medium, my usual go-to is I'll do healing beam or recon. I like recon a lot, I just haven't unlocked it yet this on launch. With the AK, and then I run defib, launchpad, sonar grenade. The sonar grenade I don't run if I'm running recon. If I'm running healing, I run sonar nade. If I'm running recon, then I'll run what's it called? The pyro grenade or the gas grenade. Gas grenade is honestly better. I like gas. The gas grenade is S tier. So those are pretty much my go-tos for medium. For light, I usually like cloaking. Bro, any of these work, honestly. Depending on the map and the situation. You could get a lot of high damage out of like the pistol, the SMG. This M11 is also really good for that. The LH1, actually, I didn't really talk about that much, but the LH1's actually been changed. So actually it's pretty strong. I was using it the other day. It's good. But yeah, I'll usually use... depending on the map, I'll use one of these. If I'm messing around, grappling hook actually has a lot of cool mechanics you can do with it, but dash is really strong, and cloak is just really insane in this game because you can guarantee that you're going to get the glitch grenade off. Because the light character, your main value is you're playing flank, you're trying to get that glitch grenade off, and you're trying to just guarantee that they don't have abilities during the team fight. So for the abilities, you have some versatility. For the guns, usually I like running the M11, the pistol, the XP, sometimes the LH1. Like, you have a lot of variety with this one. Gadgets, the main thing you want to do, just as long as you have the glitch grenade, that's all you need. So I always run glitch, and then other than glitch, I run stun gun, and then I'll run pyro grenade. That's usually my 3 for this. So I get some defensive ability and utility with the pyro. The stun gun helps in that flanking with the glitch grenade, and then anything here works together. So that's pretty much my go-to for every class. Then for video settings, frame generation, you don't want that on. On for reflex, not on plus boost, because apparently the frames in this game are like, it takes a way bigger hit than you would expect. DLSS balanced is usually your best bet. Performance or balanced. Turn all this off for lens distortion, motion blur, field of view off. Global illuminate. It reset all my settings, bro. Look at this. So you want static and you want low on everything. View distance is the only one that I guess you can mess with. I don't know if it makes that big of a difference in this game, but I'm going to keep that up. This is pretty much what you run.